When I was a young kid, I considered myself very weak. Very weak. And as I started developing this indestructible mental toolbox, because what I realized was the things I was most afraid of, I cowered from. I had to start facing these things and becoming an expert at the things I feared the most. I was afraid of my own mind. My mind would get off on these crazy places of woe is me. My internal conversation wasn't great. So I had to start mastering it. Once I started mastering it, in the horrible place I was at, I considered myself the worst person ever alive. That was my conversation. But once I started mastering my own life, I started realizing, my God, man, this was in me. I was a 300-pound fat guy. Now I'm 181 pounds, 190 pounds, whatever it was. I'm gonna go through all these hell weeks. So I started realizing the capabilities of the human soul and the human mind.
Anytime you move from being normal to trying to be exceptional, people aren't gonna like that shit. Those normal people, it makes them feel like shit, so they're gonna judge you. And nowadays, it's very easy to be a coward. Why? We got Instagram and shit. Most folks don't tell you to your face. They go online, they post about like cowards. Don't let cowards get in your head. And last thing, make sure you do you. Stay hard.
So when I saw the military uniform when I was growing up, I thought to myself, if I can get that uniform on, I would find honor in wearing the uniform. I wanted to be in special ops. But I realized to be in special ops, you gotta know how to swim. So I got a how-to book on swimming. The first page was easy, float. So I went to the pool, tried to float. I sank right down to the bottom. I realized I was naked and boring as hell. The more I failed, the more my father's words would creep into my mind about how I'm not good enough. All this other bullshit he said to dehumanize me. As time went on, I started realizing the more I didn't quit, the more self-respect I gained. And the power was all mine. In life, it's important to do one thing. Many people will try to dehumanize you. It's up to you to find self-respect and dignity in yourself. You don't need a uniform to have honor. You need to have pride in yourself, dignity. Stay hard. I used all that 300-pound man, that fat guy, that dumb guy. And people say, why you say dumb? You have to be real with yourself. If you're not smart, you're f***ing dumb, but you can become smart. You can become smart. It's not a permanent tag. You're dumb forever. You're fat forever. No, be raw. Don't find the cushy word. So what I did with all this stuff is I realized, okay, here it is. This is what you are, David. But now check this out. I sat back and I was like, my God, I'm able to visualize years beyond where I'm at right now. How are you gonna feel if you can pull this off? When I got the idea to become a Navy SEAL, at 300 pounds, hate the water, can't run down the fucking block, horrible. And I put everything on that. My whole life was, I'm gonna be a Navy SEAL, come hell or high water. Who does that? You gotta commit to it. You gotta put everything on yourself. You gotta sit back and be able to imagine where you wanna be and be like, that's the power. If I can pull this off, what kind of story have I just created?
And something you mentioned is that as you get more successful, you have less friends. Because they're not your friends, they always want something from you. And I was just wondering if you can expand around it.
So what happens is, well, for me at least, the more successful I became, I call them cockroaches, bottom feeders, people who were like, you know what, this guy worked his ass off. He did it, he worked his ass off, but I didn't. So let me see if I can just attach myself to him or her, whoever worked their ass off, whoever spent those hours, those years, trying to become whoever they are. And then you have these people who are like, you know what, oh, I'm your friend. So where can I fit into all of this? You know, where can I get on your team? There's a lot of those people once you become very successful and they come out of the woodworks and they have these great ideas, these great plans, but they ain't put any work into it. But you put the work into it. You're the commodity. So that's kind of where that comes from, just from first-hand experience.